one of my favorite steaks to cook on the grill is a skirt steak, and it's fantastic. You can get some good grill marks on it, but a good skirt steak is awesome. And one of the things I like to do is I like to marinate it in a more of a teriyaki flavored marinade. And there's a couple things I do that really I think makes it pop. What you can do with it when you're done with it is you can do some grilled vegetables and put some of the teriyaki over the grilled vegetables, or you can simply make a salad and just dice up the skirt steak and put right over the top. But this is how it goes. So you start with some soy sauce, low sodium soy sauce. So we take about a fourth cup to a third a cup of that. So that's probably gonna be one of the bigger things you're gonna put in there. So we got the soy sauce to start. And then the one thing that I always will put in, or most of the time put in my marinade, is I like to use honey. One of the things I like about this and the honey is that sugary part when it's on the grill puts a nice seared char mark on the grill and gives extra flavor. So I'm gonna put a couple tablespoons of honey in here. Put a little, since it's steak, I usually put some Worcestershire sauce in there. So I'm gonna put about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. I also like to put some in this, to kick it up a little bit, put some sriracha in there. So again, I want a couple tablespoons of that. So you can see this is precisely measured. And again, it's a marinade, so it doesn't have to be perfect. These basic ingredients you put together, it's gonna be a home run. If you get the right ones, you're gonna knock it out of the park every time. So I'll put some pineapple juice if I have it. It's a good little thing to have around, some of these to have around. I just put a couple tablespoons of that in as well. And about a teaspoon or 2 of some red wine or white wine vinegar. So we get that going. A couple of last things that I'll put in there is I add some garlic. So I'll put about a half teaspoon of garlic in there. Maybe a little more. I like that garlic. And then I'll dice some ginger up. So I'll put about a tablespoon of ginger in there as well. Get that going in there, and I'll put some green onions, get that in there. And then I'll add some onion powder in there. So about a teaspoon of onion powder. So just whisk that up. Good. And then what I'll do is I'll take the skirt steak to start, and I just take a fork and I poke some holes in it just to maybe try to get that marinade down deeper in that steak. And I'll just put it in a bag, and you're gonna wanna marinate this for a couple hours probably. That's about obviously you could do overnight or you do longer than that. But if you can get it in there for a couple hours, ahead of time, that's absolutely fantastic. And I'll throw it on the grill here, and we'll show you what she looks like at the end. And then I'll also incorporate, we're gonna do some grilled vegetables. So I'll show you how to make some teriyaki to just pour over the top of this dish. It's really quite outstanding. So to go with the skirt steak, like I said, a lot of times we'll put it over a nice salad, which is really good. But the other thing you can do is just do it with some vegetables. So we'll do this broccolini, or baby broccoli, and some red pepper. But what we'll do at the end is we'll pour some teriyaki sauce over the top. So here I'm gonna make some teriyaki sauce. So I'm gonna take about a half a cup of low sodium soy sauce, maybe a little more, 3/4 cup, that's what I got in there. And then I'm gonna take some of that pineapple juice, again, probably a good half a cup of that. Something like that. And like I said, I'm gonna do about 3/4 cup of this soy sauce. So you definitely want more soy sauce than you do the pineapple. And we'll get that going. We get that going, and then the other thing we're gonna wanna put in there is that ginger. So I'll dice some ginger up and get that added to that. So dice that ginger up, and again, get a couple, 2-3 tablespoons of that. And I'll also add a couple cloves of garlic that I'll put in there. So what we'll do is we'll get the heat going on that just a little bit. So we take it under, put some heat to that, and just let it cook for a few minutes. And once it gets going, then I'll add about 2 tablespoons, a good 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, about 2 teaspoons of pure sesame oil, kind of that dark stuff. And if you ever had this, is just the smell of it is fantastic. So it gives it kind of a nutty flavor for the teriyaki sauce. And then after it's been cooking a little bit, then I'll put some green onions, diced green onions on there, about 2 or 3 of those bad boys. And then you just want to cook and reduce it just a little bit, because over time it'll get just a little thicker. So you're going to want to cook this about 10-15 minutes over low heat just to get that, just to reduce it just a little bit. And then it's going to be perfect right over those grilled vegetables. So here's the steak after it's been grilled. You can see the char that's been put on it. The key part of this is to cut this against the grain. That's going to give you the most tender cuts. So what I'll do, the grain's going this way. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just probably cut this in half. Look at that, beautiful. And then I just start cutting it this way. Just, you know, one piece, beautiful piece at a time. I'm just gonna have to take a bite because it's just that good. But you know, you get a piece like this if you come in for the, yeah, look at the char on that. That's so good. All right, we're gonna plate these up and show you what it looks like. And it really has a little spice with that sriracha. It's very good. So here's my plate. You got the meat with the veggies. So what I'll do is take this teriyaki that we reduced by a little bit and just pour it right over the top. Adds a little flavor to your veggies. There we go. That's what she looks like right there. So good. Okay, so here's the first bite. So good. Put a little parm on it at the end just to give it a little more layer there. And we'll take a first bite here. Outstanding.